Abuja was a city of power, wealth, and secrets, and Minister David Adeyemi had mastered the art of keeping them buried, until now. Sitting behind his grand mahogany desk, David stared at his phone. A message from Amara blinked on the screen. "Can we meet tonight? We need to talk." He exhaled deeply, deleting the message with a practiced swipe. His eyes shifted to a family portrait on his desk, his wife, Ifeoma, smiling brightly with their children. How did it come to this, he wondered. That night, in a dimly lit Abuja restaurant, David sat across from Amara. The flickering candlelight softened the tension between them, but it didn't erase it. Amara, whispering,
"David, I didn't come into this for lies. I can't ignore what I've found. I'm a journalist. How can you expect me to stay silent?"
David, pleading.
Amara, please, whatever you think you've discovered, you don't understand the full story. This isn't just politics. If this leaks, I'll lose everything, my career, my family.
Amara, cutting him off.
"What about me? What do I lose? My reputation, my safety? Don't make this about you, David."
David reached for her hand, but she pulled away.
Amara, I love you.
She laughed bitterly.
Love doesn't erase corruption.
She stood abruptly, grabbing her bag.
This affair ends tonight, David, and so does your illusion of control.
David watched her walk away, his chest tightening. He wasn't just losing Amara. He was losing everything. On the other side of the city, Ifeoma Adeyemi sat in her lavish living room, sipping tea, as her assistant laid a manila envelope before her.
"So my husband has a mistress?"
She mused, her voice calm.
"Yes, ma'am."
The assistant confirmed.
"She's a journalist. The investigators confirmed she's also digging into the minister's financial dealings. If she finds what we think she will, she may expose everything."
Ifeoma smirked.
"Let her find it. When the time is right, I'll let her destroy him for me."
Then, reaching for her phone, she made the call that would change everything.
"Contact the hacker. I have a job for him."
She ordered. The knock on Amara's door came just as she was reviewing her latest article. She opened it cautiously, finding a small, unmarked package on the floor. Inside was a USB drive and a note. "Expose the minister, or your videos go public." She inserted the USB into her laptop, her stomach twisting as grainy footage of her and David played on the screen. A recording of her and David in compromising positions. Her hands trembled as she closed the file. A cold fury replaced her fear.
They want to play games? Fine, let's play.
She muttered. The next day, David burst into Amara's apartment, his face tight with anger. In his hand was a printed copy of her exposé draft.
You wrote this? After everything we've been through?
He demanded, shaking the paper. Amara didn't flinch.
Yes, because the truth matters, David.
He ran a hand over his face, desperate.
If this goes public, they'll come after you too. They'll destroy you, Amara. Ifeoma won't stop until you're ruined.
Amara's eyes were steel.
Let her try. I'm not afraid of the truth.
David stared at her, defeated. He knew he had lost her and control of the situation. The next morning, Abuja woke up to chaos. Headlines screamed, "Minister's affair exposed. Corruption scandal rocks government. Wife of disgraced minister announces Senate run." TV news anchor reporting.
Minister David Adeyemi is facing public outrage as allegations of corruption and an affair dominate headlines. His wife, Ifeoma, has filed for divorce and is rumored to be entering politics herself.
David watched the news from his study, the weight of public disgrace pressing down on him. On screen, Ifeoma delivered a poised speech.
I can no longer stand by and watch corruption destroy our nation. I am running for Senate to bring accountability and justice.
David's breath hitched. Ifeoma wasn't just leaving him, she was replacing him. His hands clenched into fists. She had set him up. David's phone vibrated relentlessly with calls. He ignored them. His wife's betrayal cut deeper than anything else. Suddenly, a knock at the door. His political advisor, Kunle, stepped in, his face grim.
David, he said slowly, the party has decided. You need to step down immediately. If you don't, they'll make sure you regret it. And there's a warrant out for your arrest.
David's world turned black. Suddenly, the sound of engines roared outside. David glanced out the window to see EFCC operatives storming his mansion. EFCC commander, shouting, "David Adeyemi, step outside. You're under investigation for fraud, embezzlement, and abuse of power." David froze as the walls of his life came crashing down. Lagos was a city that never truly slept, and today, the streets hummed with restless energy. Amara walked through the crowd, the weight of the past weeks pressing against her chest. She had won. The truth was out. She had thought exposing David would bring her peace, but instead, it had brought a storm. She noticed the stares, the way people whispered as she passed. Some admired her courage. Others feared for her life. She barely noticed the men trailing her through the market until it was too late. A voice stopped her in her tracks.
Running won't help, Miss Amara.
She turned slowly, her breath catching. 3 men in dark suits stood before her, blending seamlessly into the city's chaos.
I don't run from the truth.
That's brave. But bravery can be fatal.
Is that a threat?
She crossed her arms. He took a step closer, voice dropping.
It's a reality check. You think this is about an affair and stolen money. You don't understand the people you've exposed. Walk away, Amara. Take the fame, write your books, enjoy your life.
And if I don't?
Then you disappear, just like the others before you. Then slowly the men turned and vanished into the market crowd, leaving only their warning behind. Amara exhaled sharply. She had fought powerful men before. But this was something darker. The truth had a price, and she had only just begun to pay it.